Fine, good morning to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, have you all studied till last chapter? So have you all studied thorough about chapter 5? So now we are studying about chapter 6, isn't it? So welcome to our today's online class students. So what's the title of our 6th chapter? So what's the title? Specification and subtraction. So last class I gave just introduction about this specification and abstraction, this chapter, isn't it? So last class, what are the things you have studied? So before we are going to study about today's portion, just recall what are things we have studied in the last class. Okay. So before I am starting today's portion, first itself I am telling chapter 6, 7 and 8. Already I said these three chapters are fully theory and theorem based. Okay, somewhat tough compared to other chapters. So please listen carefully. So this chapter, so last class I have taught about algorithms and algorithm problems, isn't it? So two important algorithm problems you have studied. What are the problems? Are you remembering? What are the problems you have studied? Farmer, goat, wolf, that problem, as well as Chromeland, Chamberlains of Chromeland, that problem, isn't it? So Chamberlains of Chromeland problem. So, and also other things you have studied, building blocks of algorithm, just I have started. Today we are going to study detailed about building blocks of algorithm. Okay. So what do you mean by building blocks? Building blocks. For example, if you are going to construct a new house. So which is the building block of a house? Basement. Without basement, whether you can able to build your house? No, it is not possible, isn't it? So basement is the building block. Likewise, if you are going to create a new algorithm, so there must be some building blocks. Strong building blocks is there. Okay. So here there are totally 4 building blocks are there. Algorithms, how many building blocks are there? 4. So what are they? Data, variables, control flow and functions. Okay. So how many building blocks are there? Data, variables, control flow and functions. 4. This is important 2 mark question. Okay. Now we are going to study about one by one in detail. So listen. So first we are going to study about data. Okay. So what do you mean by data? What do you mean by data? Okay. So first, last class itself we have studied algorithm. What do you mean by algorithm? Algorithm means, so it will take particular thing as a input, then it will process the data and it will give the proper output, isn't it? So a lot of examples you have studied for this algorithm. Real-time examples also they have given. What are the real-time examples you have studied? Drawing a column, preparing a coffee, then recipe, dish, etc. etc. You are ready to going to school at morning. So what's the input process for preparing coffee? So ingredients. What are the ingredients you need to add? That is the input. Process you are preparing. What's the instructions you are using to prepare coffee? Output is a coffee, isn't it? Same like algorithms always takes some data as a input and it based on that data it will process and it will give the output. Okay. So in computer you can give inputs by using what are the input devices you have studied? Keyboard as well as mouse. So computers you are giving input based on instructions. Okay. Similarly, the same example to prepare a coffee. So first what you will do? Ingredients. What are the ingredients need to prepare coffee? So that's an input. Then process means, so take a bowl. Process or instructions. What are the instructions you will give? Take a bowl, pour the water on it and then milk. Then put a coffee decoction. Then filter it. This and all instructions. So based on that instructions, you are doing the operations. You are preparing the coffee. Then that's only second point. So computers are provide instruction to perform operations. Okay. So if you're feeling tough to study means what are the examples I am saying, please write with pencil near to the paragraph. Then while you are studying, it is easy to understand for you. Okay. So here they are giving an example. For example, they are doing some arithmetic operations. So what are the arithmetic operations we have studied? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Isn't it? So arithmetic operation is done by which one? Which register? ALU register in computer. Already you have studied. Okay. So what kind of data you will give for this one? For addition, what kind of data you will give? Numbers, isn't it? 3 plus 5 or 5 minus 3. 3 divided by 6. Isn't it? So it will take all these arithmetic operations will take which one as a input? Numbers. As well as text. Okay, what do you mean by text? Text means letters. Sum of or addition of. Understand? These are the data. For example, I am telling, so you are going to add two numbers. Okay, you are going to add two numbers. For example, 5 plus 10. Okay, so what do you mean by data? That 5 and 10 we are calling as an data. Understand? For example, you are going to add two numbers. What are the numbers? 5 and 10. Okay, then 5 and 10 we are calling as an data. Okay, then so what are the operations? 5 plus 10, that is we are calling as an what? Operations. Understand? Then the output, what is the output? So what are 5 plus 10, what is the output? 15, that is the output you will get. Understand what do you mean by data? For example, see this example. Is it visible? So this 5 and 10 we are calling as an what? Data. Understand, this 5 and 10 we are calling as an data or input. Then 5 plus 10 that we are calling as an operations. Then 15 we are calling as an output. Understand what do you mean by data? Yes. Next thing is variables. Okay, variables. So what do you mean by variables? Variables are the named boxes for storing data. Same example you took. What example I took? 5 plus 10 equal to 15. Is it the same example you say? So first read the point, then see the example, then only you can able to understand. Okay. Variables are named boxes of storing data. Same thing. Listen, see this example. So I am assigning the variable a equal to 5 and b equal to 10. Okay, a equal to 5 and b equal to 10. So variables are named boxes for store data. What are the variables here? A and b are the variables. Okay, what's the meaning of this variable? The value of 5 is stored to the variable a and value of 10 is stored to the variable b. Understand? That's the first point. Variables are named boxes for storing data. Understand? Next step, when we do operations on data, we need to store result in variable. Listen, same example. So you are declaring two variables. What are they? A equal to 5 and b equal to 10. Then you need to perform operations, or you are going to add two variables. What are the variables? A and b. So what is the operation? A plus b. Understand? So you need to perform operations on the variable a plus b and you need to store the result. So you are adding a plus b, then you need to store the answer in one variable called what? C. Understand? First you are assigning the variable value of 5 to one variable and b to one variable, and then you are performing operation. What's the operation? A plus b. Then you are storing the result in variable called c. So what's the value of a plus b? 5 plus 10, you will get the answer as 15. Understand? Now see the example. Now see this. Read this one, then you can understand. Variables are named box of storing data. What's the variable? A equal to 5. That's a named box. A is a one variable name and b is another one variable name. For what's the use? Storing data. The value of a is stored to, what's the value of a? 5. What's the value of b? 10 there. Understand? Second point, when we do operations on data, what operation you are doing? Adding two numbers, a plus b. So 5 plus 10. Okay. So what's the answer? You will get 15. So we need to store the result. That means answer in one variable. What variable I have given? C. Okay. So the variable, the answer you are storing in variable, no, that we are calling as a value of the variable. So what's the value of C now? 15. Isn't it? So what's the value of C now? 15. After adding two numbers, you will get the answer as 15. So what's the value of C now? 15. Okay, that variable we are calling as a value of the variable. Okay, and also you can able to change the value by using assignment statement. What do you mean by assignment? Equal to is the assignment statement. For example, a equal to 5. What's the meaning? The value of a is 5. The 5 is assigning to the variable a. That is called assignment. Another one example, if you can tell me, you can able to change the value of a equal to 5 to 3. How you can change? A equal to 3 means what's the meaning? The value 3 is assigned to the variable a. Understand? That is called as assignment statement. Understand the difference between data and variables? Data means only that numbers alone. Separately. 5 and 10. Variables means you are assigning the value to some variable a and b. Understand? So in this variable, next we are going to study about state. Okay? State. What do you mean by state? So if you are going to write an algorithm, you need to represent state. Okay? So state also similar. You can represent the state also by using variables. So listen, read this point. So you can represent the state by using variables. The same point only they are giving again and again. How you are going to represent the state? State also you are going to represent using variables. For example, the same example you took a equal to 5, b equal to 10. So that's one state. Then a plus b, that's one state. Okay. So what are the variables you are going to use in the algorithm we are calling as an state. Okay. So each and every time the state will change. So for that next slide they will give one best example, then you can understand. Okay. So next we can say the next example, then only you will get understand. So for a demonstrating state they will give one example. Okay. So listen. So you all know about traffic signal, isn't it? So traffic signal, how many colors will be there? Traffic signal, how many colors will be there? 3 colors. So what are the colors? Green, amber or red. Okay. So state means, listen. So you can able to give 3 variables. Isn't it? What are the variables? Green, amber or red. 3 variables. So last slide you have studied state means nothing but representing variables in an algorithm. So how many variables you are going to write an algorithm for a traffic signals. Okay, what's algorithm you are going to write? You are going to write algorithm for a traffic signals. So what's the state? State means variables you are declaring in an algorithm. For a traffic signal, how many variables are there? Or how many colors will be there? 3. Green, amber or red. So how many variables you need? 3. For green 1, amber and red. 3 variables. Understand? So listen, what do you mean by state here? Okay. What do you mean by state here? Okay. So whether the traffic signal 3 colors will be glow at the same time. Understand the question first. In a traffic signal, whether the 3 colors will be glow at the same time. Whether 3 colors will be glow at the same time? No. Either the color of the light will be green, otherwise amber or otherwise red. What's the meaning of green? Green means you can able to go or move or you can walk. Then red means you need to stop. Isn't it? So the state become differ, but process is the same only. What's the process or what's the algorithm you are going to write? Traffic signal. That's the same. For green means also heading as a traffic signal only. Red also heading as a traffic signal only. But the states are changing. Green means what you need to? You need to move. The state is changing to move. You can move. Red means the state remains stay. You need to stay. Understand? So understand what you mean by state. State means you can able to or you are going to represent particular things in a variables in an algorithm. So only that example they are telling. So for a traffic signal you need 3 variables. What are they? Green, amber or red. So the state needs to be changed based on the condition. So you are representing the state in a 3 variable, green, amber or red. So for example, green means you need to go, red means you need to stop. That's the state. Understand? Next you are going to study about control flow. Okay, control flow. What do you mean by flow? Flowing of water. What do you mean by flow? So water is flowing from upside to low side. What do you mean by flow? Moving from one part to another part, or moving from one side to another side. Okay. So now you are studying about algorithm, isn't it? So algorithm is a sequence of statements. What do you mean by sequence? Collection of statements. Whether algorithm will contain only one line. Statements is nothing but, okay. So for example, you are going to write one program. Okay, you are going to write one program. So the program, whether the program will contain only one line, I am asking. So you are going to write one program. So next 9th chapter onwards, you will study C++ program. After that, you know about detail about program, okay. So you are going to, for example, now you don't know about program, isn't it? Okay. So you are going to write one detailed question. Okay. In a detailed question, whether only one sentence will be there. Detailed question, whether only one sentence is there? No. Lot of sentences are there. Isn't it? Lot of sentences together will give one detailed question. Likewise, algorithm is a sequence of statements. That means collection of statements. So, what do you mean by sequence of statements? Okay. So, what do you mean by sequence of statements? So, for that only an example I said. What example? So, if you are going to write one detailed question means the detailed question will contain lot of sentences. So, altogether all the sentences altogether give one detailed question. Likewise, algorithms also you are going to write algorithm means our algorithm contain lot of statements. Statements means nothing but instructions or lines. Okay, so algorithm contains lot of sequence. Okay, so what's the thing means? For example, in a program also like that. If you are writing a program means the program will contain lot of lines. 10 lines or 20 lines or 30 lines. Okay, so program means you need to run the program. Okay, you need to execute or run the program in the computer. So, for example, if you are writing one poem, so how you will read the poem? Line by line, isn't it? First you will read the first line, then second line, then third line, fourth line, etc. That's the order, isn't it? Likewise, if you are writing one program, the program will contain lot of lines. Each line need to be execute one another. That means first line or first statement. Lines only we are telling as in statements. Okay. In a program or algorithm, we are saying the lines as in statements. So, first statement need to be execute first. Then second. Then third. Then fourth. Likewise. Isn't it? That's the normal thing. So, how you need to execute the lines of the program? How you need to execute the lines of the program means based on the state. Okay, so before you have studied about state, isn't it? So what's the example you have studied? Traffic signal, isn't it? Traffic signal you have studied. How many states are there? Green. Another one what? Red or amber, isn't it? So 3 states are there. Based on the state, the program will run. For example, you are going to write one program for the traffic signal. So listen. So you are going to write one program for what? Traffic signal. Understand? So listen. So in this program, first I am writing first what? Traffic signal. What's the process name? Traffic signal. What's the process name? Traffic signal. So what are the 3 states will be there? Green, red or amber. Isn't it? So what's the order I said? If the program is running me, the program needs to execute one after another. For example, the program needs to execute the first line. So, green means it needs to walk, isn't it? Then, it will, for example, the program needs to execute the first line. So, first line it will execute green, then second line walk, then third line, fourth line. That's a normal thing. But, some program, what they have said, telling, the program needs to execute based on the state. So, how many states are there? 3. What are they? Green, red and amber. For example, in the traffic signal, that only first itself I asked. So, whether the traffic signal 3 lines will be blinked at the same time. No, any one state only possible. Either it will be green or red or amber. Isn't it? So if the state is, so listen, so you are writing the program for what? Traffic signal. See this program. So normally what's the step I said? The program you are executing means it will execute a line by line, isn't it? So how many lines are there? For example, so execute first red line, red, then red means stop, green. So I am asking, so 3 states are there. So here I am giving only 2 states. So whether in traffic signal, whether the 3 lights will blink at the same time? No. So whether it is possible to 3 states working at the same time? No. So at that time, for example, the light will glows at red color. Only red color is there. Whether green color and amber color will blink at that time, that colors need not to be blink. That colors are on off state. So you are writing a program for traffic signal. At that time, how many lines need to execute? Only this 3 line. Remaining lines need not to be executed. Understand? So sometimes the green light will blink. So at that time, whether first 3 lines need to execute? No. The next 3 lines need to execute. The program will skip first 3 lines. Understand? So listen. So that only they are telling the execution will be changed based on the state. Okay. So what's the order of execution? Normally the lines need to execute one after another. So when the state will change, the order of execution also need to change. Okay. That changing of the order is we are calling as an control flow. Understand? The order of execution of statement we are calling as an what? Control flow. Okay. So in which order the particular statements are executed in an algorithm, that we are calling as an what? Control flow. Understand? Listen. So in control flow, there are 3 important states are there, or 3 divisions are there. How many types of control flows are there? 3. So based on the state only the flow of control is changing, isn't it? So based on the state, there are 3 types of control flow. So what are they means? First, sequential control flow. Second one is alternative control. Third one is iterative control. Okay, listen. So sequential control means, so the lines normally how the lines will execute? One after another. First line will execute, then second, then third, 4 and 5. So likewise, the same order, whatever order you have written, 10 lines you are writing in a program means the 10 lines all execute in the same order. First line, second line, third line, 4. In same order it will execute means that execution we are calling as which control? Sequential control. Understand? So alternative control means here we need to check the condition. Alternate. What's the meaning of alternate? Alternate means some other ways. We will say no, alternate method is there. So some other method is there. Some other ways. So alternative control means here you need to check the condition. So any one of the condition only needs to be true. The same example you took traffic signal. So here, for example, how many conditions are there? Condition means nothing but state. So traffic signal, either the signal will be in green color or red color or amber color. So at the time, any one of the condition becomes true. That means either the light will become green color or red color or amber color. So which condition is true, that condition statements are executed. For example, listen. So in this program, so I said no, any one of the condition only become true. That means any one of the condition only can able to work at that time. So for example, the light will becomes green. So which condition become true now? Red. So only these 3 lines will execute. Next conditions and all false. Understand? Understand what you mean by true and false? In this program, we are giving 3 states or 3 conditions, but any one of the condition becomes true at the same time. Either the light will become green color or red color or amber color. So if the condition becomes true, red color is blinking means red color only true. At that time, the answer you will get is stop. Remaining conditions and all false. So at sometimes the color green only true. At the time you will get the answer as walk. The remaining lines will become false. Understand? That is called what? Alternative control. Now read this line. This sentence very, very important. Okay, sequential alternative control. So condition is state tested based on the condition. The condition you are testing based on the state. So if the condition is true means true statement is executed. Otherwise, if the condition false means alternative next statement is executed. Understand? Next is iterative control flow. Iterative control flow means here also same thing only. So here also you are going to check two conditions, true or false. Okay, but some conditions need to execute again and again. Till the condition becomes true, it will execute. Okay, so for example, the same example program, I am giving the red color signal. The red color signal is blinking for 5 minutes. For example, the red color signal is blinking for 5 minutes. So how many times the particular statement will execute? 5 minutes. Remaining statements become false. So that is called repeated. The particular statement 5 minutes the light is blinking means so 5 minutes the program. For example, only I am telling. Okay. So next the C++ program you can understand about this and all we can study later. Now for example I am telling this one for your understanding. Okay, 5 minutes if the light is blinking means 5 times the program or particular red color need to be executed. Red color line need to be executed or repeated. That we are calling as and which one? Iterative flow. Understand? So three kinds of flow control you have studied. Iterative flow, what are they? Sequential, then alternative and iterative. Very, very important questions. Okay. So next thing you are going to study about functions. Okay, functions. When you are going to write the functions means, so now we are studying about algorithms, isn't it? So algorithms, sometimes the algorithms becomes very complex. Very complex means very tough or very tedious. So when we are saying our algorithm becomes complex means, so we are already you have studied. So all the things you are using in are inputs. What are the inputs you are giving? So all the inputs you are using by means of variables, isn't it? So when you are saying the algorithm becomes complex means when you are using too many variables. So one example already I said for adding two numbers. For adding two numbers, how many variables you record? 2. What are they? A and B. So A plus B you can add. Similarly, so if you are adding 100 numbers, for example I am telling you are going to add 100 numbers. So how many variables you need? For adding 100 numbers, how many variables you need? Adding 2 numbers, 2 variables you need. So for adding 100 variables, for adding 100 numbers, how many variables you need? 100 variables. Whether it is easy to define 100 variables in an algorithm. It is very tough to define 100 variables in algorithm. Isn't it? It is very difficult. In such conditions, you need to break the algorithm into separate parts. Understand? So in such conditions, you are breaking the particular algorithm into different parts. Okay? But listen, one best example I said, so you are going to study one big paragraph question. So that big question will, for example, that big question will contain more than 200 lines. Okay? So you are feeling very tough to study that 200 lines of for that question. So what you will do? First you will cut short that question, isn't it? First you will split into paragraphs. For example, first paragraph 10 lines, second paragraph 10 lines, third paragraph 10 lines, fourth paragraph 10 lines. Likewise, 20 paragraphs you are splitting. So 20 into 10, 200 lines. So in a question will be, the full question will comprise of how many lines? Paragraph question 200 lines. So you are feeling very tough to study that 200 lines. So you are splitting that paragraph into 10 lines. First 10 lines, one paragraph. Second 10 lines, second paragraph. Understand? Likewise 10 lines. So the same concept only, but if you need to write a full detailed question, a full paragraph question means you need to write all the 200 lines. Then only it will fulfill the particular paragraph question, isn't it? Same example or same thing here. So if there you are feeling tough to study. Likewise, many variables if you are using an algorithm means it is very complex to run the program at that time. Likewise, if you are splitting the paragraph, So here they are breaking the algorithm into separate parts. Okay, so to get the proper output mean you need to integrate the parts. What do you mean by integrate? Join all the parts. So paragraphs, to get the correct paragraph detailed question means you need to study separately and you need to join and write, isn't it? Likewise, how first you need to separate the parts. Next, if you need to complete the algorithm means you need to integrate. Integrate means join the parts. Okay, so you have, I tell no, splitting of each and everything. In paragraph, we are splitting into 10 lines, I said. Same thing, you are in algorithm, you are splitting into parts. That parts only we are calling as an functions. Understand what do you mean by functions? You are splitting or breaking the algorithm into a lot of parts. The each individual parts we are calling as an functions. The other name of functions we are calling as an sub-algorithm. Understand what is the other name of function? It is like a sub-algorithm. Okay. So, each function or each parts you are splitting, no? So, each needs to take input and produces output. Okay. Already I said for adding two numbers. For example, I have said, no, for example, you are going to add 100 numbers. So, you are going to write a program for adding 100 numbers. First, you will add first 10 numbers. One part. Then next you will add next 10 numbers. Then next 10 numbers. Like, so first you will add first 10 numbers. The first 10 numbers you are adding, no, that is one function. Then second 10 numbers you are adding, no, that is second function. Okay. So each function will take input. First 10 numbers means how many input it will take? First 10 numbers as the input. Then add. Process means adding first 10 numbers. Then output. Answer for the first 10 numbers. Then second 10 numbers. Adding, you will get the output. Understand that is called each function will take input and produces output based on the input-output relation. What do you mean input-output relation? Adding 10 numbers means 10. The addition of 10 numbers is a relation. Understand? So again and again I am telling. So feeling tough to study means what are the examples I am saying? Please write it with pencil near to your book. So now while you are listening, you can feel it is very easy to study. But while you are studying, very tough. I am telling very tough to study without understanding this one. Okay, so please listen. So for that, they are giving, for functions, they are giving one example. Okay, so you are going to calculate surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so surface area of a, what's the formula for surface area of a cylinder means 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. So what's the surface area of cylinder? What's the formula for calculating surface area of cylinder? 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. Okay, so instead of calculating the full formula in a same line, so they are splitting into two. Okay, so what's the cylinder formula for calculating surface area cylinder means? First you need to calculate area of a circle. Area of a circle, then circumference of a circle. Okay, so what are things you need to calculate? First you need to calculate, see the last line, see the formula, this is the formula. Cylinder area means 2 into circle, that means area of a circle and area circle of the circumference of a circle. Two things you need to calculate. So what are the functions? Last slide you have studied. You need to split each into a separate parts. First in mathematics, how you will do? First you will calculate the, so in this formula, like this formula is there, mean how you will calculate? First you will calculate the area of the circle. So then one part over. Then you will calculate circumference of a circle. Then second part over. Then you will add the area of a circle plus circumference of a circle. That's the third part. Then you will get the answer. Isn't it? So similarly only in program also I said, no, to get the proper output, what are the things you need to do? To splitting. How many ways you are splitting here? Area of a circle and circumference of a circle. First you are calculating separately area of a circle, then separately you are calculating circumference of a circle, then you are adding. So area of a circle also you are taking the inputs. What are the inputs you are taking? The value of r you are taking as an input. Then circumference of a circle you are taking how many values as an input? R and radius and height you are taking as an input. Then circumference of a circle also you have calculated. Then you are adding both. Then you will get the output. Understand about functions now? To get a proper output, you will split the program or split the functions into two. Here you are splitting into two functions. What are they? Area of a circle and circumference of a circle. Finally, you are to get the proper output means you are adding that one. Each function will take proper input. Understand? So next thing is algorithm design techniques. Okay. So there are 4 algorithm designing techniques. Okay. Say there are how many algorithm design techniques? 4 algorithm design techniques. Okay. First thing is specification. So what's the title of our chapter? Specification and abstraction. Isn't it? So what's the title? Specification and abstraction. So first we are going to study about specification. What do you mean by specification? Okay. Now you are going to solve one problem. Okay. So now you are going to solve one problem. So in specification, how you need to solve the problem in, first you need to solve the problem in very short manner. That's the first step. Okay. First you are going to solve the state of the problem precisely. What do you mean by precisely? Shortly. So you might have seen in question paper answer in precise. What do you mean by that one? Short. Answer in short. Likewise, if a problem is there means first you need to state the problem in very short manner. Okay. Then in specification, what are the things you need to define? So each step you need to define the given. For example, in mathematical problem, in same example you took. Last week of studied, no? Formula for calculating area of a cylinder. So what are the inputs you need? Radius as well as height. To calculate area of a cylinder, what are the inputs you need? Radius and height. To get the output for the area of a cylinder, what are the inputs you need? Radius and height. So that only they are giving. So the problem is specified in terms of input given. So what are the inputs given that you need to specify. So based on that input only, you will get proper output. Understand? So without the values of radius and height, whether you will get the output, whether you will get the answer? No. So proper input if you give means only you can able to get the proper output. So next thing is you need to state the properties of the given input. Okay, what do you mean by properties? Properties means, so for example, what's the same example, what's the value of height? Height means value of height. Radius means what's the value of radius. That's the property. Then relation between input and output. What's the relation between input and output? Calculation. Area of a cylinder, calculation. That's the relation. Understand? So specification, what are the things you need to study? 3 points you have studied. First you need to define the problem in a very short manner. Then you can, in the first step you need to write what are the inputs here they have given. That inputs you need to write. Then based on that you will get the proper output. Then, and that's the second point. Third point, you should specify the state or properties of the input. Each input you need to specify the properties. Then based on that input you need to get output. That is the relation between input and output you are going to define. Understand? So next thing is abstraction. Okay, today up to this enough. Okay, up to this enough today. Time over. Okay, up to this enough. Tomorrow we can continue next 4 titles. So again and again I am telling this chapter I am going very slow. Is it? It is very fast. Whether it is too fast? So only I am going very slow. It is I know this is a full theory, raw theory chapter. So if while you are studying it is feel very bore as well as very tough to study. So please make interest and study. So what are the portions I got taught today? So algorithm design technique, only one title. State. You have studied building blocks of algorithm, very important, as well as control flow, very important questions. Okay, building blocks of algorithm and control flow, very important. Please, after completion of this session, you should study building blocks of algorithm, data, variables, that and all very important. Functions, this and all you should study thorough. And also in functions, their control flow, iterative flow, each and everything you should study. What are things you are studying? Please study and write it. Okay, so what are things you are studying? Please study and write it. Otherwise, surely you will get forget. So understand? So last class have I taught some portions. So that portions have you all studied? Please study daily's portion Again and again I am telling, because up to 8th chapter, some theory part, then 9th chapter onwards, fully programming paper. So at last you will think we can study together. You can't able to study all together. Please study daily portion. Okay, thank you students. Remain I can continue in next class. Thank you.